Hello, everybody. This is Todd with Duct Tape Hanger again. We're going to start doing some preliminary gluing and stuff on the Night Twister. We're going to start with gluing in some hinges. I do not have a manual for this, so we're just going to go off of experience and see what we end up with. Um, we're going to need to, they are like a Robart style hinge. We're going to have to glue those in. I'm just going to use which I usually use on my hinges. I really like this clear Gorilla Glue on it. It's reasonable. Takes about 24 hours to set up, and very good glue. I've never had any of these ever come loose. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So this is the wing of the Night Twister. We obviously got a big set of flaps here and smaller ailerons. So we're going to start off with that. I did pull some of the hardware out. We've got to glue in a bunch of these hinges into the surfaces too, so which we will do. These little nice little carbon laminate hinges. I'm sorry, control horns. We're going to put those on the surfaces as well. While we got this down, I'm only going to do like one wing and maybe one stab, and then you guys will know how to do it from there. I mean, most of you guys know how to do this stuff anyway. Probably are better at it than I am anyway. So I'm going to it's got some painter tape on. Let me get you up here where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Get you up here. And let's see here. I think that's as tall as that goes. Get you pointed down here at my messy table. Once I get this tape off of here, I guess we'll do it this way. There we go. Oh, that took some covering with it too. So this got to be like an ultra coat. Look at this. You can see the clear. You can see it. The clear is coming off with it. It's like an ultra coat type covering. I absolutely despise ultra coat. I have no idea how old this is. Now it looks like they almost gave us like regular Robart hinges here, and then these hinges here. They look like they actually might be a little different size because we got to add some here. So what I might do, take the other wing apart and use all the same hinges on one side and use all these on the other. That way they're set up the same. We don't have any differences in gaps. I don't want to mess up any of that. Peel this off without trying to separate the colors. There we go. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to take the other one, because this will give you a little better view here. This is a hinge that's in it. They're pretty close. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure each side has the same amount. Let's see, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually, yeah, 7 of them in here. So we're going to just try and match these up. We got one here too that I need to glue in. That one's a little sloppy. I don't like that. That one's a little sloppy. We'll make sure we get plenty of glue into those. Oh, my phone. We're going to silence that. Just a telemarketing call, of course, because that's all that ever happens anymore. But we're going to square these up. Make sure these are all nice and square so we don't get any binding. We put those in. And we're going to start off with this side first. I'm going to go ahead and take the other wing out so I can get some more of those hinges. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? These that are kind of sloppy, I'm going to put the bigger ones in that. And that way, I think that'd be the best way to do it. I think these will be fine. Looks like I'm going to be using about 3 of them. With a little bigger diameter. Let's see if that fits a little better. Yeah, a little bit. Oh yeah, way better there. And then this end one. I have no idea when this ARF was made. It's obviously not a new ARF by any means. By any means. But that's how I usually keep those hinges from getting glue in them, is I'll bend them like that and tape them. If you get an idea here, I don't know what all you can see. Oh yeah, you can see it. See enough of it. Like that, there we go. I usually do that with them, and I'll take a little bit of painter's tape, put over them, and that'll hold them, keep them from sliding in there, and let them set. I got my painter's tape over here. And all right, we're going to start right here. And this is how I do it. Like I said, take anything I do with a grain of salt. I am no professional by any means. Just let that wick down in there. This stuff's actually pretty thick. This is non-expanding as well. You got to watch some Gorilla Glues. They do like to expand. I'm just going to put a little bit right here on the front, because as that goes in, that will slide up, and you don't want it to slide up and get into the actual hinge. Some guys will put lube, either petroleum jelly or some kind of lube base oil in there. Come on, get that in there. There we go. And there we are. All right, on to the next one. That's a good tight one there. I'm gonna get right up in here. Yeah, it's getting. We got a fly-in this weekend in Muncie. They're doing like an end-of-year fly-in. They do it every year. Good group of guys. They do a fantastic dinner. It's all potluck. They have a guy that's kind of a chef. I shouldn't say kind of a chef. He's a retired chef, and he puts on a hell of a meal. So if you're in the area, it's down at Site 4. I am going to dab a little bit of that glue off the outside here. And I'm going to run that one right in there. Like that. And clean up a little bit of that glue. Like that. And I'm just going to do that right on down the wing. But fantastic food. If you're in the area, try to make it down. It is absolutely a good time. It's going to be really cold. Chance of rain. Muncie's about a 2.5 hour drive for me from where I'm at. I go down there quite a bit during the summer. I got my best friend lives down there, so I'm usually down there quite a few times. He flies there, obviously he lives 5 minutes from me. He told me actually when they were looking at homes, he told his wife, he said, he picked out like 4 homes and they were all close to within like 5 or 8 miles from the AMA field. And he said, that's what he wanted. He said, that's where I'm going to live. He says, you find one of them that you like out of those and we'll go from there. So they've lived there quite a few years now. I don't know when they bought it, but they've been there a long time. And leave that there. And so he's only like 5 minutes away from the model field, which is absolutely awesome. So he does a lot of flying. He's also a big RC car guy. Does a lot of racing down there as well. But like I say, they have the fly-in coming up. I'm not going to drive 2.5 hours for the cold. I get cold easily. I always have. I moved to Phoenix, Arizona twice to get out of the cold, and somehow I keep ending up back in Indiana. First time was divorce. Second time was my choice. And I just have I'm here now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving again. As much as I despise winter with a passion. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere at this point. And my family's here. And I always keep coming back to family. So it must mean something. So that's, I'm divorced with no kids. So I don't have to, I'm not, nothing going on there. Obviously you see the room here. I've got plenty of planes everywhere. Nobody telling me I can't. So, which that was one thing she never did give me any grief about. She was even my caller when I flew IMAC. So, in all honesty, she was really pretty good to me with the hobby. So I have no complaints there. That was never our issue. She now has some kids. We still keep in touch, actually. We were always kind of the better friends situation. So it's all right. She's happy. I'm happy. So more power to both of us at that point. I mean, obviously, getting into a rant here, you guys probably don't care about, but life gets in the way. But my mom and my dad always had a bunch of planes, always flew a lot, had a good group of guys that he always flew with. And my dad always used to tell my mom, he said, you know where I'm at, you know where my money goes, you know who I'm with. And he said, I could change any of those if you don't like it. And needless to say, she never gave him any grief about it either. And my dad was never any troublemaker or anything. He was pretty tame, always pretty calm guy. Never stirred up any issues at home. He was a lot older when I was born. I'm the youngest of four, and so he I kind of had to adjust to what he liked doing. So I got into golf with him. We did lots of fishing. We were always fishing together. He got into classic cars. When I was 5 years old, he brought home a 55 Chevy Bel Air 2-door Post. It was absolutely in dire need of major restoration. It was somebody's old drag car that was cut up. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape on there to help hold those. Keep those from sinking in any farther. They say this is just kind of the way I've always done it. You do whatever works for you. But yeah, my dad brought that home, and that started my passion with cars. I was so in love with old cars, still am. I don't have a garage here, so the idea of having an old car just isn't going to happen at this point. And I'm also in the health point where I am not going to work on them. I am not going to do it. That does not interest me, laying in the dirt and wrenching on a car anymore. I would love to have one done again and just have a nice cruiser, but I just don't see that happening either. I do have, went out and bought a Challenger RT, a 2010. Got the Hemi. Sounds good. It looks good. It's got a nice package on it. It's the it looks like the old kind of 70 T RT. It's got the nice hood scoop. Nice. That one turned on me. Got to watch that. That one turned, and that caused you some big problems, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. All right, now I can set that off to the side. That's the wing. Now that's going to cure a long time. It's going to take a long time to get that set up. So we're going to set that back here, out of the way, where nothing's going to hit it. At least, hopefully nothing hits it. Messes those up. Those look pretty good. All right, now a stab. Almost kind of like a Spitfire style tail on this plane. Obviously, it's a British design. the Silent Twister. European. It's got a lot of European design to it, but not a bad looking little airplane. I mean, little as a 95-inch span. Oh, these are tight. All right. See how those have turned over the year? They're pivoted the wrong way. Okay. We're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to have to hold this one and do it. But kind of show you guys what I got here. See where I get the camera in a spot where I can make sure you guys see what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just going to seep some of this Gorilla Glue down in there. And if you go at a nice slow speed, it'll just keep running right down that. And see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to look in the camera and at this angle. But yeah, you can see that glue is just going to seep right down in there. I really like this glue. I get it local hardware store, and they sell it cheaper than Amazon. Then I kind of get the excess off of there like that. I'm going to set that down. While, where did I set those hinges? There they are. Those white hinges on a white table, kind of hard to see. And I'm just going to put a little bit in here, because like I say, as you push that in, it's going to slide up. It's going to slide up this. You want to keep it out of that hinge. So I usually just put a little bit up here on the first few lugs. Plus you got some in the hole already. So like I say, this is pretty basic stuff. If you've, obviously most of you guys have obviously worked on a lot of this stuff. I just kind of do these videos for people who haven't. And keep some of that excess glue. You hear the old hanger cat in here giving me a hard time. See, there's a little bit of glue around the edge. Just go ahead and sneak in there and wipe that before, so it doesn't get into your hinge. And right up there, you can kind of look at it here and see where your hinge line is, and you can go right down to it like that. Now we're going to square this up to make sure we're good and square, so this way when the aileron goes in, none of these are binding. So it don't look too bad. We're going to leave it just like that. We'll go do the next one. You can see, I don't know what, there we go. You can see there where I kind of squared it up. What, cat? You're not going outside. I don't know why you think you're going outside. There's nothing out there for you other than fear. You get scared of everything when you look out the window. You sure ain't going to make it when you go out there for real. Take him to the vet and the carrier, and he cries like he's scared to death the whole time. So I don't know why he thinks it's time to go outside. When he's declawed in the front. I got him from a friend of mine at work. Started out as a foster. I wasn't even supposed to keep him, but you know, he's really such a good cat. He doesn't bother anything. Declawed. He doesn't scratch anything. Doesn't chew on anything. Just whines once in a while. I don't know if you guys have pets or not. I'm usually not a big pet person. I like other people's, but I just never usually like my own. I like fish tanks. Always been a fish tank guy. Used to do big saltwater tanks and stuff like that. And I haven't done that in years, but I've got some buddies that still do. And I get a little jealous of that. I miss that. Once you get them established, you really don't have to do a lot to them other than just kind of make sure all your pH balances and stuff are right. But I've got a little, I think it's 30-gallon freshwater over there that a friend of mine that I fly with gave me 7 guppies, and I think now I got 50 in there. I mean, they breed like rabbits. But yeah, this time of year, I really slow down a lot. And that's why I've been kind of picking up all these projects. This channel was really supposed to help me get some motivation I really wasn't worried too much about about it growing or really trying to promoting it. I really don't push it too much, but I mean, it really amazed me how quickly we got to 400 subscribers in just a few months here. And you guys comment, and I try to comment to everybody who comments. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I try to comment right back on everything that you guys comment on. You guys tell me a lot of stuff about what you're working on, what you're doing. Give me feedback. I like it. I like it. I mean, that's part of it. The community, the flying community is really a pretty good community. Obviously, you have some outliers and some different groups and stuff like that that nitpick on each other a little bit. I bumped the camera. I make fun of our local electric guys. Um, Only the ones that I know can take it, because I'm kind of the guy, if I pick on you, I like you. If I don't pick on you or really associate with you, I don't like you. And I've always been like that all my life. I like it when people give me a hard time right back. I know there's a million electric channels out there doing all kinds of stuff, and those guys are really popular because the electric's really popular. The foamies and electrics, I don't have any interest in that stuff. Not my kind of flying. It's fun for what it is, I guess. Just not anything I would ever be interested in that I can tell. So far, at least in this stage of my life, that I will stick to big gassers and go from there. Now, I am not going to tape because there's not really any real pressure on these. They're not going anywhere, and they look pretty good. When I get home tonight from work, I'll move the hinges, make sure they're okay, wiggle them around a little bit, and then let her set some more. But that one's done. So that's kind of all I'm going to show you guys. I mean, it probably gets pretty boring watching me do this part, but that was mainly for the guys who's never done it. This is my kind of style of doing it. There's probably a lot better ways of doing it than how I do it, but kind of where I'm at. So just the way I've always kind of done things. Not saying it's right by any means, but all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and finish these others and get her ready to seal up, and then we'll start working on tomorrow or tomorrow or the next day, whenever I get time. I'll start gluing the surfaces on, and we'll do it the same way. We're going to put some glue inside the surface and then on the tips of these and slide it in and go from there. All right, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have fun. Any feedback, anything you want to throw out there, any tips for anybody else? Like I say, if I do something that you guys got a better way of doing it, make sure you tell me. I'm perfectly fine with learning. So, I mean, that's all part of the game. So, all right, guys, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.